there, I'm Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. And this is part 2 of my last video, which was an AliExpress video where I opened up some craft items. But this is not about AliExpress nor the craft items. If you watch that video, you will know that I was going nuts because I ordered this book that I was really anticipating from Indigo / Chapters, and I thought I didn't receive it. So you'll have to go back and watch that. I'll leave you the link for that so you can take a look at that. And this is an update. Now, I did in fact receive my book, and I was so excited about that. And I also mentioned that I was waiting for a wallet. Now I'm going to tell you the story about that. When you order something on Indigo website, you have to order a certain amount before they'll give you free shipping. And I was like less than $3 off. And I thought, okay, I have to buy something. What am I going to buy? So I went in their sales section and I looked through everything. And there's a lot and a ton of calendars. And I don't know, do people still really buy calendars? I guess they must, because otherwise they wouldn't put them out. I just look on my phone if I need to know the date, and I look on my phone if I need to see what's in my calendar. I'm automated, but I guess some people still like to have the fancy calendars on the wall with the pretty pictures. But anyways, obviously I didn't get a calendar, but what I did choose was a sale item that I thought, this looks really interesting. It's a travel wallet, and it was on sale regular $30 and change, like around 35 or 38. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was on sale for $10. And I thought, you know, the little folder that I use to hold my passport and my boarding passes and my travel documents, it's kind of starting to fall apart. I really like it, but it's starting to fall apart. I thought, well, for $10. So anyways, the book arrived and the wallet had not arrived, but guess what? The wallet came today. So what I decided to do for this video is I'm going to first show you the wallet that I got. I'm pretty excited. I haven't opened it yet, so it's going to be a surprise for both of us, all of us, whoever cares to see it. And then I'm going to bring the camera overhead and I'm going to show you that book that I received. And I've seen it's got a lot of good reviews. People seem to love it. So I had a quick look at it and I'm going to let you see it as well. So you can let me know what you think of that. But first, the package, the much waited for package. Have my scissors, gonna open it. The moment of truth. Yes, I think I'm gonna have to use my scissors. I thought maybe I could just I thought I could open it. Oh, I think I can open it without my scissors. It just unfolds. Like my life. It just unfolds. Sometimes you need a scissors to help it along. Okay. And here we go. Oh, it feels like a nice size. I'm liking this so far. It's the Color Block Travel Wallet in the color Black Cobalt. It's bigger than I thought, which is the opposite to my AliExpress shipment, which a few things were so teeny tiny that I couldn't even really show them to you because they're almost microscopic. Well, not really that small. Anyways, it's got a nice little flap to open. No need for scissors. Wow. This is worth $10. This is gorgeous. Wow. Love and Lore, Bon Voyage. Well, a lot of us haven't been traveling much because of COVID, so this is like, I gotta use this for something. Look at this. So it says Travel Docs here. Love and Lore back here. Look how gorgeous that is. I love it. And they're out of stock now, so I was really concerned because I thought if I don't get this one, I'm not going to get it at all. And now I see what I would have been missing. And it would have been something. It's got a magnetic closure. I'll show you. It's got like paper inside. This is gorgeous. Wow. It comes with this little cardboard inside. It's just a fake ticket from London. Date, January 28th, 2019. Gate PO3. Flight time to Toronto. Maybe that's where this came from. Name, Emma Woodhouse. It's supposed to, it's got a seat number on it. So I guess what it's showing is the travel documents go in here. Look at that. I haven't even looked at it myself. It's really nice because it says boarding pass here. And then here it says cash. Well, if somebody wants to steal it, they'll know where to look for the cash. So maybe you wouldn't put so much cash in there. Passport and luggage ticks on this side. This is really beautiful. Really feels like good quality. So I know this is not crochet related at all, but if any of you are going on like a crochet related journey, I know that Annie's has a quilting one. They had a crochet one. If you haven't seen the Annie's website, the link will be below. It's amazing. I just became an affiliate of Annie's, and I'm really looking forward to shopping more on there and bringing some goodies to show you. I just haven't gotten around to it because I have other things I need to do first, but it's a great website because it's got free tutorials for all kinds of things, like for beginning crocheters and yeah. So anyways, I saw they have a quilting trip planned. I can't remember exact date because I'm not a quilter, so I didn't really pay a ton of attention to it, but it looks like a nice trip. It's the east coast of Canada. If you haven't been there, I can tell you that I was just there for the first time last fall, and it is gorgeous. I need to go back, especially Newfoundland. But anyways, this is what I got, and it doesn't have a zippered section, but it's got all these different compartments for everything you need when you travel, and a magnetic closure. And not only that, it's gorgeous. It's so pretty. So I'm looking forward to my next trip. I'm definitely going to use this. And I'm sorry that I can't advise you to go get one for yourself because they're out of stock. But I will say that the Indigo website is really a nice site. I always thought of it for shopping for books, but they have everything from candles to baby clothes to toys, wearables for little kids, really cute sun hats, like gardening hats, and all kinds of things besides books. So worth checking out the Indigo Chapter's website for sure. And they have some really neat sales too. So yeah, that's how I got this. Now, the book is Melissa Leitman's Indispensable Stitch Collection for Crocheters. 200 stitch patterns in words and symbols. So let's go overhead from above, and I'm going to give you a better look at this book. Okay, so just for your reference, I already purchased the Crochet Stitch Dictionary, which also has 200 essential stitches with step-by-step photos, which I did a review on. You can check back for that video. Gorgeous, gorgeous book. It is, let's see how many pages. I didn't mention that. 191 pages in this book, and just beautiful, beautiful book. And all essential stitches that you'd ever want. But then I heard about this book and I thought, okay, I have to have this book too, because I heard that there were stitch patterns in here that are exclusive to this book and will not be in the other book. Now, I've done some stitch patterns with Mikey from the Crochet Crowd. I did the Study of Earth and Study of Texture blanket crochet alongs, and I learned some amazing stitches. I've done the window pane stitch, the bean stitch. I don't know, there's so many stitches I've tried. And some of these books, I don't think I saw some of those stitches in either of them, which I kind of was hoping for, but that's okay because there's so many here, so many new ones to try. And let me just open it up. First of all, I will tell you that this book has, I'm going to get the page count, 176 pages. That's including the index. The index is in a larger print than the other book, so that's good. I can actually read it without reading glasses, because when I have my contacts in, I'm kind of useless reading close up, even though they are called monovision, which is meant for being able to see close up too. It only works to a certain point. Okay, so let's dive into this book and see what's in it. So in the contents, which is accompanied by this beautiful page of almost like a quilt of crochet stitches, all these sections. So it's got section 1, the stitch collection, and then the type of stitches it has are simple solid patterns, shell and fan stitch patterns, open work and lace patterns, textured patterns, colorwork patterns, and edgings. I like the idea that it's got edgings. The other book does not. And I love to have options for edgings, whether I do a blanket or anything else that I could put edgings on. Edgings can really enhance anything that you're making, even a sweater, a little dress for a little girl to have an edging at the bottom. There's all kinds of things you can put edgings on to enhance your project. And then section 2, resources, the abbreviation list, understanding international crochet symbols, and crochet techniques. And then, of course, the crochet community, that'll be interesting, and index. So let's take a look. Get right into this. Here is Melissa Leitman. She's looking all crafty with her necklace. It even shows you how to use this book. What is a stitch dictionary? How to use this book. Reading the patterns, incorporating the patterns in projects, simple squares and rectangles. So it's got a lot of information that will help you through this book. And some more here, designing from scratch. That would be helpful. Swapping stitch patterns within existing patterns. So some really interesting ideas here. How to shape pieces when working pattern stitches. Really looking forward to reading that and learning. So here's section 1, the stitch collection. Here's a library of crocheted stitch designs, including, and then of course all of the ones that I read to you. I won't go over it again. Most of the patterns are original to this book and are accessible and inspirational to most skill levels. So that's great. I'm sure there are some that are more beginner friendly and others that are more advanced. So here are the simple ones. So you've got your solid single crochet, back loop single crochet, so all the single crochet ones, cross single crochet pattern. I won't go through all of them because there's so many. Alternating front and back loop single crochet. And so you'll notice it's got the colored illustration here, and then it's got the chart. Now, I've never really learned to read these charts. I usually go by the written word and the picture, and if I'm still not sure, I'll navigate to YouTube. I'll look online for a tutorial for that pattern. With this book, because they're unique to this book, I may not find them. I may have to start learning how to read these charts, which wouldn't be a bad thing. It's always good to learn new skills. So all of the oh, these are double. So all of the simple ones, I guess, are done in purple and lilac. And then it goes to the shell and fan stitches, and now it's switched colors. So now it's got the corals, peaches, and some of the graphs are really large. I'm not going to go through every single page, but you can see that when it goes into each one, you've got a page dedicated to each one of them now. So you've got the written words, you've got the colored picture, and you've got the chart. I'm just going to go through it quickly. You get a glance at some of these patterns. Oh, and now we're into the golds, almost like a lime green. That's open work and lace patterns. So every time it switches the group of stitch patterns, it changes color as well. Look how gorgeous that looks. I'd love to try that. That's called the winged lace pattern. So I'll just skip ahead, but you'll see I'm just going to quickly go through that. There's so many different interesting patterns to try, and I can't wait to try some. Look at this, the posy pattern. I think I saw Crystal from Bag a Day do a tutorial with this, something similar to this if it isn't this exact pattern, and it was really, really nice, so I'd love to try that. How cute is that? Can you imagine that on a dress for a little girl? That would be so, so cute. Gorgeous, gorgeous patterns. Okay, skipping on ahead. Oh, we have another section. Color work patterns. And this is the section that I have to admit intimidates me, because I always think about all the ends I'm going to have to weave in, but this is where I need to learn, because I'm thinking that maybe there's a way of keeping the yarn attached and just working from the yarn as you go along, so you're not detaching and reattaching. And I probably sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, because I really don't. I have never done these type of stitches before. I've heard them called mosaic as well. And they look so difficult to me, but I really need to try them because they're really impressive. And I'm sorry, my bracelet is rubbing up against the table, so I'm making a racket here. But look at this. I want to make sure you can see these. Look at all those different patterns. Just beautiful. I really need to try this. And when I do, I'm going to give you my thoughts on them. It's not going to be right away. I have several other things that I have on my to-do list, but these will definitely be on there because I want to try them. And for any of you who haven't tried them yet, who have not done this, I'm going to give you my beginner's thoughts on it and how I was able to follow the instructions in this book. And here are the edgings. Look at these edgings. Look at this. So neat. Can you imagine the bottom of a sweater with that on it? How pretty that would be. Look at these. So many stunning edgings. Okay, so we've come to the end of the stitch patterns and into section 2, resources. So what is here? Abbreviations. So you've got American terms, UK terms, because sometimes you might see a pattern, a UK tutorial pattern, and you'll want to follow it, but then it's confusing because right away you hear that beautiful British accent, and you all of a sudden hear they're talking about crochet stitches, and it doesn't correspond with what you know is a treble crochet, and then you realize that their terms are different. So this will tell you what the terms are, but that doesn't mean that every person who is from the UK will do a pattern in the UK terms because they are really trying to appeal to North Americans, and so they may use the American terms. So you have to listen carefully when you watch a tutorial that is done by somebody from the UK. Then you should listen to whether they are referring to the UK terms or the American terms, and they'll tell you. And if they are referring to one or the other, they may have options to pick up both. So even though they're teaching in the American terminology, they'll have a section where you can see the terminology in the UK form as well. And then you've got all these abbreviations, which are really imperative to following patterns, to reading patterns. You need to know the terminology. So if you don't know how to read a pattern and you'd like to, and I can tell you that it opens up your world. It opened up my world, because being able to look at a pattern and try something new is just an incredible feeling, to crochet and watch as the pattern unfolds as you go through the instructions. So this is a really good tool to have. And this is what I need, understanding international crochet symbols. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me when I was in high school and I was in a typing class and I took shorthand. This almost looks like shorthand symbols for crochet, but I realize it's not. But look at all these little symbols. It's like a whole different alphabet, to be honest with you. It looks intimidating to me, but at the same time, I think if I would spend the time looking at them, I might be really happy. In the same way that I'm happy that I learned how to read a pattern, I would probably open up my world to learn how to read charts like this. And this gives tips on reading the crochet charts. So this section was written for me and for people like me who need to learn how to read charts. I'm not saying I'm going to jump into it right away, but definitely I'm glad that I have this book, because it will teach me how to do it when I'm ready to dive into that. And Crochet Techniques. I've seen these and I tend to shy away from them, which I probably shouldn't. It's just maybe the visuals of it intimidate me. And I just am feeling confused by all the loops and strands of yarn that I see in the picture, and I've gotten confused by, like, for instance, slip knot. I've seen so many different ways that people make slip knots, and this just shows one way, and I'm not really sure what it's doing. Like, I would have to try and fold my yarn like a pretzel to figure it out, and I think it would just frustrate me that I'm just getting started out, and this is so complicated. So I would suggest, if you're just learning for a slip knot, you go online and you check out different tutorials. Like, I've got one on how I do it, and it's so simple, and somebody actually told me you really simplify it, and it really should be simple, because if somebody's just learning and the slip knot, which is just the very beginning, seems complicated, they'd throw in the towel, say, well, if this is so difficult, I'm not going to try anything else. So something like that, I would suggest looking at a tutorial and checking out how different people do it and finding your own comfort level. But other than that, I mean, it's still, once you have crocheted for a while, looking at these might be a little more helpful, because it does show definition of the stitch and where to put your hook, like here with the arrow. So not a bad thing to learn all of these techniques for following patterns and following stitches. So there are the tutorials, they're online, there are the charts, there are the written words, the written instructions, and then there are these diagrams. So there's different ways of picking up the techniques. And this has really a whole bunch of them. See, I look at this and honestly, I would find that intimidating, but I think probably if I spent the time with it, it might become more obvious and easier to follow. It's just that I've opted for different ways of learning things. So everybody has a different learning style, and so you might prefer one over the other. I prefer the written words, But then sometimes if I don't know what I'm reading, I'm not able to follow it, that's when these type of things will come in handy. And then it just goes into a little bit about the author and the crochet community. Now this is in Zanesville, Ohio, the Crochet Guild of America. I am Canadian, so I'm not really sure. I'd have to look into that to see if there'd be anything in it that would be useful for me. And then into the index. So that is the book, and I'm really looking forward to jumping in. And also with this book as well, I haven't tried either one of them. So when I look at them, I will definitely give you my thoughts on working with them. These are my initial thoughts. I wouldn't hesitate to buy either one of them. I'm thrilled that I got them. I'm so thrilled that this came, that it wasn't taken from my front porch, which is what I was concerned about when I didn't initially see it delivered to me. So I'm really happy that I have this, and I think it's going to open up my world of crochet and expand what I do, and then when that happens, I can share it with you. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to showing you what I can get out of these books, what I can do with the patterns in these books, and then show you what I've done and hopefully teach you as well. So thanks for watching, and thank you for sharing in my joy of receiving everything that I was supposed to receive. The only thing now that I'm waiting for are little rosettes from AliExpress, which I'm not too concerned about. I was more concerned about these items here. I got them. Thank you for watching, and I really appreciate all of you. And there's some really special videos coming, so keep your eye out and have a great day. Bye for now.